it is literally 2 days until the World Cup starts, and I don't know, I'm bloody excited for it. And I've given out my match day one predictions, my entire tournament predictions, but there was one more predictions that I kind of wanted to do, and that is like what I call the awards. So basically, I'm just gonna be handing out. I've got a list here who I think's gonna win the Golden Ball, who I think's gonna win the Golden Boot, young player of the tournament, potential players, the dark horses of the tournament, and then of course who's gonna finish third, second, who's gonna win, and also who's gonna be the flop of the tournament. So without further ado, let's just get into it. So I want to start off with the team stuff first, because obviously the player kind of awards could come into that. So yeah, first off I'm gonna say my dark horse, because I've said this before. I actually have two teams this time around. So obviously first is Turkey. I've said this plenty of times before. But we've got Kenan Yıldız, Arda Güler, Çalhanoğlu, and then I think Kadioglu, I've actually heard was injured, I think yesterday. So yeah, maybe he won't be playing, but I mean, he's only a fullback, so it shouldn't be too important anyway. I also think they just play really good. They're definitely, I think they're underestimated. I mean, I know that a lot of people have actually seemed to have come around to Turkey the last couple days. A lot of people were saying like, no, Turkey's not going to perform very well. But no, I think the last 3 or 4 days I've actually seen lots of people think that Turkey's going to be topping this group. Group D, of course, with Australia, USA, and Paraguay. I think they probably will do that as well. And then my second dark horse is actually Canada. I mean, they've got the two Davids, Jonathan David, and I forgot the other David's name. But yeah, he plays for Union Saint Gilles, I think. I can't remember the name, but USG, the Belgium team. And yeah, they're pretty decent strikers, the Davids. I mean, Jonathan David obviously plays for Juventus, but he hasn't been scoring lots of goals, and I don't think he also scores many for Canada either. And the other David, I'm not gonna lie, I've only known him because of the Champions League, and he hasn't really done too much from what I know. And obviously Alphonso Davies is a big question mark. He could be injured for the whole tournament, maybe just the first game, hopefully just the first game. I mean, I want to see Alphonso Davies back. He hasn't been playing for ages. I remember in the 2020 season, Alphonso Davies was just one of my favourite players, man. So yeah, I hope he comes back. So yeah, my two dark horses for the tournament, Canada and also Turkey. I think they could both quarterfinals, I think, for them maybe. Okay, so now we're going to move on to my third place team. So I actually had in my tournament bracket, I had Portugal and Germany getting knocked out into the semi-finals. So it would make sense for one of those two teams to get third. And I think it's going to be Portugal. I think Ronaldo gets his World Cup trophy or medal. I actually don't know what they get for getting third place. Probably just a medal, right? To want to get a trophy. But yeah, I think Ronaldo gets third place. He won't get his World Cup, unfortunately. He won't, be able to, be entered into the GOAT debates anymore, which is a bit unfortunate. I was always more of a Ronaldo fan because he played for Juventus, and I don't know. He also, spoke English, though. I could actually understand what he was saying most of the time. And yeah, I think Portugal's third. I mean, they haven't really done too much. I mean, obviously I won the Nations League, was it last year, I think? But other than that, I've never been too convincing. They got knocked out to Morocco last World Cup. Anyway, yeah, can't really see Portugal getting any further than third. I can see them maybe getting to the final, but they're not winning the final. And then we've got France as my winner and Spain as my runners-up. I don't really need to talk too much about that, because obviously I talked about that in my World Cup predictions video, which I don't know, probably didn't put on the screen because I'm too lazy. But yeah, yeah, I mean, France, too hard to look past. They're amazing quality with their attack is just amazing. Also their defense. One thing I will say though is their midfield is a bit lacking. Honestly, their best midfielders are Kante and Rabiot, which is kind of crazy. I really don't rate Tchouaméni or Camavinga. They've done nothing in the last like 2 seasons, apart from obviously what Tchouaméni did to Valverde, like a month or two ago. So yeah, I still think France are gonna be winning. Their attack is just too strong. They can put like 3 or 4 goals past any team. And then Spain, I put runners up. I mean, these are just the two best national teams in the world right now by like a large margin. I think you've got Yamal, obviously is probably gonna be pretty decent at this World Cup, and then Nico Williams on the left. He's done nothing this season or really even last season, to be honest. But he was good at the Euros, so I can only imagine he'll bring that form into the World Cup. Hopefully, at least. I mean, I do want to see Spain doing well. I did say that I think they will be unconvincing, but if they are a convincing side, then I'll be happy. The more better teams, the merrier, in my opinion. Spain and France are my 1-2. And now we move on to my flop of the tournament, and there are a few teams. I was thinking initially of Brazil, but just because Neymar is there, I really don't want to say Brazil's going to be flopping this tournament. I really want them to go far. So that is why I've gone for Netherlands, who in my bracket I'm saying are going to get knocked out by Brazil in, I think it's the round of 32. I said that. And I mean, there's a lot of reasons why I don't think Netherlands is going to do too well. I mean, their defense is like their strongest part of their team, but a lot of their defenders just aren't in good form. I mean, we've got Van Dijk, pretty poor season. Van de Ven, pretty poor season. Also been injured quite a bit. Timber, who I've actually just seen recently, is potentially going to be out for the World Cup like altogether, which is disappointing. I mean, he had a great start to the season at Arsenal, so. And yeah, he couldn't even play the Champions League final, really, so that's pretty sad for him. Yeah, I mean, also, the midfield, again, very, very strong, just, name-wise with De Jong, Gravenberch and Reinders. But obviously, Gravenberch and Reinders, they actually started the season off pretty good, but, that's just dwindled all the way down, especially Reinders. He just hasn't even touched the pitch for the last 6 months. And then with their attack, Donyell Marlin, I mean, he's been really good for Roma, but before then, he was at Aston Villa. He had his, moments. He scored a couple goals, and then obviously the other attackers like Gakpo. I mean, we've seen him perform when he wasn't, performing at club level, in the Euros in 2024. Maybe he can do that again, but I don't know. I feel like his form this season has just been too bad for him to come back from, if I'm being honest. So yeah, that's why I've got Netherlands flop the tournament. And also, I did say in my predictions, like my bracket predictions video, that Netherlands are gonna not even win their group, but they're gonna become second to Japan, in my opinion. I think they're losing to Japan. I think I said 3-1 or 3-2 in my predictions. Can't remember. And now we move on to my player awards. So we've got Golden Ball, Golden Boot, and Young Player of the Tournament. Let's start off with my Golden Ball. Mbappe, I think that France is winning the tournament, so it only makes sense that, the best player of the tournament is going to be French. So yeah, Mbappe, he's going to silence all of his haters, and Real Madrid are going to, they're going to be happy again. I think that's just my opinion. And Golden Boot, I've also said this one before, Erling Haaland. I think that this is potentially the only time he's going to play in the World Cup. Probably not. He'll get a few other chances, I think, at least 2, I reckon. But, he doesn't know for sure if he's going to play in a World Cup again. He missed out last time around, so he's going to really want to go for it, I think. He's got Iraq in his group, as I said in my for hot takes video. I think he can definitely get 4 goals against them, and then a couple against Senegal and France, and then Australia. I think I said Norway was going to verse in the round of 32, 2-3 goals there, and then I think I put him to play Germany in the round of 16. Could get knocked out there, but I have seen a lot of people say Germany is not a very good side. So, if Germany doesn't want to show up to this tournament, Norway could, even win there. And if Norway win, we know that, Haaland's obviously scored a goal or 2. So yeah, I think that even though Norway probably won't go too far in this tournament, I still think he's going to be going for it. He's getting my golden boot. And finally, for my young player of the tournament, I've got 5 players. I've got Yamal. I mean, if Spain get to the final, I think that he's definitely gonna win it. Unless they don't want to give it to Yamal because he's just such an established player. Maybe they want to give it to someone, bit of a lower profile, which, doesn't really make sense because my second pick is João Neves. Maybe if Portugal decide to go on a run, I definitely think João Neves could, play a big role in that, unless Roberto Martinez wants to play him at right back like he did in the Nations League final, which I don't even know why. I've got genuinely one of the best midfielders in the world. Play him in position. Ruben Neves is not that good to, replace him. You've got Cancelo at right back anyway. And then, if they don't want to give it to either of those 2 players because obviously they're pretty established, you could give it to the Turkish boys, Arda Güler or Kenan Yildiz. As I said, Turkey's my dark horses, so I think Turkey should do pretty well at this tournament. But I think Kenan Yildiz is meant to be injured at least for the Australia game, which I'm happy and not happy about. I mean, obviously, as an Aussie, I want Turkey to be as weak as possible. But obviously, again, as a Juventus fan, I want to see Kenan Yildiz play at the World Cup as much as possible. But if he has he's obviously been had problems with his knee for like the last 2 or 3 months of the season, so it's probably good that he's taking a bit of a rest. And then my final pick for the young player of the tournament could be Jan Diomande. I mean, I think he's going to be the best under 21 player other than like Yamal or João Neves. The only thing is that I don't know how far Ivory Coast is going to go at this World Cup. I mean, potentially round of 16 exit is probably my, best, like their best case scenario, I think. And he's got a few decent players around him in that Ivory Coast team as well, but it's just a matter of, if they decide to turn up, which I don't really know. I mean, they've also got, is Germany and Ecuador in their group as well? Germany, obviously, just Germany, and then Ecuador, a very good defensive side, so that could, stop Diomande from scoring a goal. But if he does manage to score a goal, that, could be really good. So, yeah, that is my awards for my award predictions for the World Cup. Let me know, did I cook? Did I, not cook? Well, we'll see in like 1.5 months' time. Anyway, I've got to quickly go have my dinner before I go to work, and then when I come back from work, I have to edit this video, because I want to get this out before the World Cup, starts. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit.